But if buyers cannot afford your $500,000 home, especially when rates are super high, the only way for those buyers to afford it is if you, the seller, take it down a notch. Yeah, that's real money. I agree. But it's also holding you back from living the rest of your life when you're already profitable. If you wanted to buy a house this year, unfortunately, you're going to have to come straight from the bank with big old Scrooge McDuck piles of cash on hand, because home buying just got even less affordable this year than it probably has ever been ever. So what does that mean today, right? Let's skip right into the story here. The high borrowing costs and steep home prices, potential buyers need to make at least $115,000 to afford a median priced home in the United States. And that is a brand new record. $115,000. I'm really curious. I don't know what the stats are, but I'm really curious to see how many people actually make $115,000 and more. Like what is the percent of the workforce that makes $115,000 or more? Because there's a heck of a lot more people who don't make anywhere close to that do want a home, right? In fact, it's $40,000 more than what the typical American household pulls in, right? So the typical American household in 2022 was about $75,000. So you're going to need more, $40,000 more. You're going to have to take another job. You're going to have to take a third or fourth job to achieve the median income to buy a median priced home in the United States. And we're not talking mansions here, right? We're not talking 4,000, 5,000, 7-bedroom, 12-bathroom types of palaces, right? We're talking about median priced homes. We're probably talking 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,700 square feet. You're going to need $115,000 to get that mortgage. Now, the income is needed to go up by about 15% from a year ago. And now that is a 50% higher than from the start of COVID. That stat blew my mind. So you're telling me that if I wanted to buy a house today, my household has to make 50% more than 4 years ago, 3 years ago? I can tell you one thing. Labor wages, right? Wages, hourly earnings, salaries, income in general has not kept up with that whatsoever. No way. I don't know how anybody's buying houses these days when the prices have basically doubled and the interest rates have basically tripled. I don't know how anybody at this point is able to buy a house. And if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Yule, and we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about it. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below and start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. So let's continue on here, right? New listings are ticking up slightly. The inventory still near record lows because homeowners who are already in a home, they're hanging on to their low mortgage rates, right? And that's propping up home prices. In June, 91% of U.S. mortgages had a rate below 6%. If you were to go get a mortgage today, we're talking high 7s, nearly 8%. So no wonder the inventory is as low as it is, because I'm not interested in selling my house if I now have to go out into the marketplace and pay twice what it's worth, at least what it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it's going to cost me 3 times more on interest payments. I mean, we've got a huge breakdown here. So home affordability is at an all-time low. Now, what's the way to fix this? I don't know. The rate on a 30-year mortgage is now 7.63%, and that's a far cry from when rates were 3.22. My mortgage that I got was 3.59. That was in 2016, right? And it didn't change all that much between 2016 and 2022, but now it's 7.63. That's so high. I mean, if you had not bought a home before COVID or right at the beginning of COVID, you may have literally missed the only time to buy a home ever in your lifetime. I mean, legit, because incomes are not keeping up with home prices. It may be game over if you ever wanted to own a home. And that's sobering. That's not a stat I'm excited to talk about. That's really disappointing. Whose fault is this? Right? I gotta say, whose fault is it? It's the fact that inflation has just kicked everybody in the backside. Government-induced inflation is killing the American consumer. Government spending, out of control spending in every single direction, causing inflation to spike. And then they want to tell us that inflation peaked 2 years ago and now it's come back down. Now it's basically at the Fed's mandate, right? 2%. No. I saw a stat. It was some fool who wants to claim on the left side and how he's such a genius because he's one of the leftoids. I saw this fool saying how, hey, inflation is back to the 2% Fed's target. We won. And like there was no damage done. It was easy. But home prices are unaffordable now. Groceries are unaffordable now. Cars are unaffordable now. Nothing is affordable now. But we won. I mean, you take out all the stuff that we all need every single day, and inflation's gone back to what it should have been. I don't know where this person's calculating their numbers, but I can tell you one thing. I look around all day, every day, and nothing is what it cost in 2019. Nothing is what it cost in 2020 or 2021 or 2022 by that case. Everything I look at, up and up and up and up. So where is it going to go? I don't think there's much more up to go. Because at some point, people are going to have to start moving. Here's a crazy stat, right? Let's say you're trying to buy a house that was $200,000 a couple years ago. Now, the price is $500,000. All right, we'll use round numbers here. But nobody's buying it at $500,000. But the seller has to get out. They have to move for their job. They have to move for family reasons. They've got to go. So they decide, listen, we need a buyer. We're going to drop it from $500,000 to $400,000. And it's not hitting it. Okay, fine. We've still got to get out. Listen, we're already profitable on the house. We bought it for $200,000. We can take it at $350,000, right? So they sell it. They actually find a buyer at $350,000. Every house in that neighborhood just lost $150,000. Every house in that area is now worth tremendously less. Every house in that neighborhood, there are husband and wives and everybody else in between saying, oh, we got screwed by the Joneses down the street. How dare they sell their house for so much less? What are we going to do? If you want to sell your home, you got to find a buyer. And sometimes taking it down to where the buyers are is what you're going to have to do. And that's exactly why the Fed raised rates. That is how you offset inflation. I know it's sobering. It's a crazy thought. But if buyers cannot afford your $500,000 home, especially when rates are super high, the only way for those buyers to afford it is if you, the seller, take it down a notch or 2 or 3 or 5. And then you're able to sell your home, someone's able to move in, and we have disinflation. We have deflation. It's not awesome if you're the one who's trying to sell, but you're already making, in this example, $150,000 in profit. I would rather make $150,000 profit and get to keep it, move on with my life, than to hold out for the $300,000 in profit and hold out for another 10 years. Yeah, that's real money. I agree. But it's also holding you back from living the rest of your life when you're already profitable. So let's see what the AI trading data says about Redfin, one of the places that you can look at, kind of like Zillow, to get some information about how to sell a house and maybe even list your house. Look at this. We got a sell signal on August 7th, and boom, 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 boom. Every single day it seems like Redfin's going down. Now it's about a $5 stock. But hey, if you can believe it, the signal return here was over 30%. So if you want to get your hands on this AI trading data and be one of the first people to know when the buy and sell signals come through, go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Let's go see what the internet's saying about it, right? Housing market's so expensive, home prices would have to crash 35%, kind of like our example, or mortgage rates drop 4 percentage points to make it considered affordable. Like I say, you don't get to control what the interest rates are. You do not control that. The Fed controls that. But you do control the price of the house. And in order for yourself to get out of your house, you may just have to drop the price. I saw something funny. This person was complaining that one of their neighbors dropped the price of their house. And they were like, do not drop the price of your house. Whatever you do, we got to hold strong. And then somebody said, houses are just NFTs for boomers. And I thought that was really, really funny, right? Of course, nobody wants to see their house price go down. But if you want to sell your house in a market like this, when interest is crazy high, you're going to have to. Let's see what everybody else is saying. A 35% decline can't happen without devastating consumer recession. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. And that's not out of the question. 400 basis points in any near-term period is unlikely to occur without the same, right? Listen, Jerome Powell is very aggressive on raising rates and lowering rates, but he's not going to drop 400 basis points unless something crazy is going on. And we don't want to see crazy. We really don't want to see crazy. Affordability is compromised due to both. And only until a deep recession are we going to get that to happen here. And this is what we're currently dealing with, right? Average U.S. mortgage, $1,768. I think it could be a lot higher these days. Car payment, over $700. Daycare, $1,300. Listen, I had 2 kids in daycare at the same time. That was the most expensive thing in my life, and I was feeling it. Average food budget, $5.50. Man, it's time to figure out how to make more money. And at the end of the day, that's what everybody is fighting right now, because everything is so much more expensive, especially if you're looking to buy a house. I don't understand how the YouTube algorithm works, but it also says that you're going to love one of these videos. Thank you for tuning into today's Outlier Live. We'll see you on the next episode.